What is up, good people? Welcome back to the Fuel Yourself audio cast. Now, listen, I really truly do hope that you are, really walking into the space of loving yourself so much and not just saying it, but actually living in it through your actions on how you treat yourself, what you feed your mind, what you feed your body, like the environments that you put yourself in, like really, really being conscious of creating that love for yourself, right? I really, really do hope you are making that happen for yourself because it feels so good to be in a space to be doing that for yourself. Okay. I just wanted to gift you with that because I am living in that to the fullest. I am your host, Shawana Mays, certified life and wellness coach who guides women from being stuck to becoming unstoppable, helping them define their goals, stay consistent, finally follow through, and see real, lasting results in their lives and their wellness. Now, listen, I wanted to come and talk to you about why creating time for you is so valuable. So, this is what this episode is all about. And I want to talk about it in relation to your life and wellness goals. And I thought about this topic simply because of what I have experienced throughout this journey of now being a certified life and wellness coach, working with women on their life and wellness goals. And prior to that, being in the health and fitness network marketing space, working with women on their fitness and nutrition goals specifically. Now, that part of my life in the health and fitness network marketing space was just solely based on fitness and nutrition. And now, as a life and wellness coach, how I help women is based on all parts of their lives, like really from a whole person perspective, including fitness and nutrition, if those are also areas that they're struggling with in their current lives. So, when I was in the health and fitness network marketing space, it wasn't pointed out to me in a direct way on why creating time for yourself is so valuable. Now, you could say that I was still learning so much in that space. And it's funny because ironically, I was actually considered a coach in that space when I can actually see now that I was more of like a cheerleader. And honestly, that cheerleader role worked for me because I was a cheerleader since I was in Little League. As a young girl, shout out to the, Westmount Hilltoppers. Come on, Columbus, Ohio. And I was a cheerleader up until my 11th grade year in high school, Independent 76ers. Come on, Columbus, Ohio. I got to shout it out. Now, listen, there was no real, like what I would consider coaching structure in that health and fitness network marketing space. And of course, I didn't really know this until I decided to walk through like a 12-month process of getting certified as a coach with Legacy Holistic Health Institute back in 2021. That's when I realized how much of a cheerleader I was in the health and fitness network marketing space. I was like, oh, okay, this is different. And while walking through the process of getting certified, I really learned what coaching was all about. But anyway, let me bring it back to the topic of why creating time for you is so valuable. Here's the thing. Prior to a coaching relationship with me, I offer up consultations with potential clients, with you as a potential client. And on my consultation booking page, in the notes section, like there's this description blurb that states, in lights, attention, the complimentary holistic life and wellness consultation gives us an opportunity to get to know one another and see if we are a good fit to work together long term. And then I also add, please, no eating or driving on this Zoom call and limit all distractions as much as possible. Thank you so much for allowing me to serve you in this capacity. And there's a reason why I am sure to add that information to the booking page. It's because of what I experienced working with all kinds of women from all different age ranges in my former network marketing space and now as a life and wellness coach. Now, let me share what I have experienced in a couple of my consultations so that if you decide to hop on a free consultation with me, you know exactly what the expectation is, not for the benefit of me, but for the benefit of you. First, let me say these consultations are designed for you to focus only on you for 1 hour. Literally 60 minutes, ladies. That's it. 60 minutes for you to define what it is that you want out of your life moving forward. Because listen, there is this big, beautiful blank canvas or like 100 blank pages of a book, like just waiting for you to write the rest of your life story. There's so many freaking possibilities. So I want you to think about this. If you are a woman out in the world doing all the things for everyone else, chances are you don't even think about giving yourself time to think about you and what you want. Your focus is always on everything and everyone else. And specifically, if you are a woman who wants change, you are constantly being uncomfortable living in your current life experience that you have created up until this point. So hear me when I say this. Okay, so let's move on to these experiences. So one of my experiences with a potential client was this beautiful woman who I ended up reconnecting with 8 years later from the time we briefly met one another, decided to come on a call while doing another woman's hair. And her reasoning was because the hour that she scheduled to be on the consultation with me was one of the only hours that she could fit her client in to do her hair that day because it was an emergency to get this woman's hair done. And that's okay if that needed to happen. And this is what I can say when I'm holding space for you and only you, that will not work. You are in no way in a position to focus on you while you are trying to multitask and do someone else's hair, whether it's your child's hair, your hair, or in this case, someone else's hair. This does not work, ladies. It doesn't. And I know you may argue with me just a little bit on this, and that's okay. But I want you to see how valuable you believe your time is for you and what you want to create. You have to see your current habits and you have to see how they are, having you creating exactly more of what you don't want in your life. Now, listen, if that was the only time that she could offer to do her client's hair, listen, that's not a problem. I have no problem with rescheduling. In fact, I welcomed it and I offered that up to my potential client and she understood. Now, I have to say that it doesn't always happen that way. Okay. Some women are not happy with me offering for them to reschedule. They try to argue with me in a small subtle way and they tell me it's going to be fine with how they have the call set up at that moment. And I politely disagree and I ask them to reschedule. Sometimes they don't, and that's fine also. I am in no way offended because I know how much more valuable them being on the call with zero distractions is. So another one of my experiences was when a young lady decided to book a consultation with me. This was kind of an interesting one because of the constant interruptions she had to navigate through while on the call. Family members continued to interrupt her while she was on the call. Ultimately, she ended up the last 20 minutes on the call in her car because she was trying to get away from everyone in the house. And even then, a family member was trying to talk to her from the inside of the house. So, like, kind of sort of yelling with this exchange, like with the front door open while she was in the car trying to have this consultation. And she answered every distraction. They didn't even respect the time that she created for herself. And I know none of these actions with the family members were intentional. It's just how her relationship was with those in her home. It was very clear that the time she created for herself wasn't of any importance to those around her. I look back on this moment and I wish I would have offered to reschedule after a few instances of interruption. And I wish I would have just explained to her why her having this call distraction free was of so much importance. I failed to do that to serve her in the way that she needed to be served. Of course, it was most definitely a lesson learned. Now, in that second experience, this was something to notice because it was so relatable to me. And I remember this being like the case in my household prior to me deciding to make some changes and to get my kids and my husband at the time to respect my alone time that I wanted to create for myself. And the reason why I wanted that time was because this was a time in my life, and this was around like August of 2014, but this was a time in my life when I made the decision to walk through that process to lose 30 plus pounds. It was no longer an option for me to stay uncomfortable where I was, creating more of the life I did not want. So, yes, I had to walk through the process of like really teaching my household how to honor my time. Now, did I have many, many negative thoughts about it, wondering what my family would say and how they would react? Yes, 100%. Like at first, I was like really scared and I stayed in my head about what I should do and what I should say differently. And I still kept allowing them to interrupt me. Like it was like extremely frustrating to allow that to keep happening. But I just kept fighting with myself, trying to figure out why I couldn't speak up about me wanting, my time without interruption. Until one day, I just got bold enough to speak up. And that started from one particular thought that I started to think. And it was this weight loss is going to happen no matter what. Thinking this one thought and thinking it daily, I might add, empowered and inspired me to speak the heck up. And consequently, no one died in my boldness. Were they taken aback? Absolutely. Yes, they were. Did they survive their new thoughts and emotions, like all those negative thoughts and emotions? Yes. But that was the beginning of my connection to understanding how my thoughts create my results. Because ultimately, because of that one thought that I kept thinking daily, I was able to lose those 30 plus pounds in 42 days and start this lifestyle for my life and how it is now in 2025. Okay, so just hear me on that. So here's the thing. In both of those situations with the potential clients, they did not they did not really have the ability to focus solely on themselves and not be distracted to get the maximum value out of the consultation. Because here's what I find in most of my consultations. Like women have a pen and paper and they are ready and eager to take notes because they are ready to walk through this life-changing transformation, even on the consultation. Women are ready to see clearly where they are now in their lives and in their wellness and want to define clearly where they want to be. Women are eager to move beyond the consultation and see how they can work with me long term when they have clarity on how I can help them and they can see the vision for their life in the consultation process. And that can only be achieved through focus on themselves and zero distraction, or as minimal as distraction as possible. So, I mean, if you are not focused, there's no way that you'll be able to create a transformation for yourself on the consultation. This 1 hour that you create for yourself is worth so much value. You may never create this time for yourself again because you may never decide to take advantage of an opportunity to do so. So when you do, decide to go all in on yourself. Clear your calendar or reschedule. Get someone else to watch your kids. Tell your partner not to interrupt you while you're on the call if it's not an emergency. Do this for you. I want you to think about the consultation that you do with me in this way. You are stepping out and being bold enough to bet on yourself for at least 1 hour. First, by even making the decision to book the call for this change that you want to create for yourself. And since you decided to create this 1 hour for yourself, you may as well make it distraction free. And if you can make it distraction free one time, then you can become that woman who makes your time for yourself distraction free many more times because of the awareness that you'll have that you can actually do that. So, listen, this is what I am here to help you do. Create the next season of your life because there are so many possibilities that exist for you. Your past does not have to define your future if you don't want it to. But I can tell you, your current thoughts will define your future. And since you don't want to keep recreating the results you currently have in your life, especially if they're uncomfortable, it's time to create new thoughts so that you can create new results. So if you want to go deeper with this work, I'll help you create a whole new self identity by teaching you how to walk through that process to become that woman who follows through and creates any result, no matter what. So let's do it. You can book a free life and wellness consultation with me through my website at www.royalrenewal.info. And if you ever need clarity on anything I share on these audio casts, because I do like to keep them short and sweet, feel free to email me at info@rippedroyaltywellness.com or message me on Instagram at your_holistic health coach. For now, I am wishing you a whole lot of peace, a whole lot of ease, and a whole lot of love. And I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.